It's always wonderful to have you on this channel, and I want to welcome you to this special edition of our studies. Now, we're looking at something that is very, very germane in French language. Without it, you can do nothing in the language. So please, wherever you are watching this video, you stumble across it, don't go away. Just stay there because you are going to get value for your time. We're looking at an aspect that with French verbs. French verbs. There is no language in the world, as an expert in language studies, that you can make headway without understanding the basic things that do with the verb. Whether it's German, English, your local language, whatever language you have, the verbs are important. Now let's dive into it. Now, verbs conjugation is like the processing a cassava. For how to process cassava, you can go and Google that. It takes time. You go to the farm, you pull the cassava, you peel it, you take to the grinding machine, you grind it, and then you sieve it, you let it to ferment, and whatever. There are many processes involved. The same thing with verbs. For you to use verbs very well, you must go through some processes, and those processes help you to be able to use verbs to mean different things and address different situations and different contexts in French as a whole. Now, verbs in French, they are seldom used as raw. What do I mean by raw? When you go to your dictionary and look for a particular verb, let's say the verb aller, to go, you only see the infinitive, the raw form of the verb. But when you use that particular verb for a lot of expressions, a lot of mood and times, with that not necessarily in the infinitive mood. So we are going to be looking at them, and I want to also bring to you that these French verbs have distinct endings as well. There are three of them generally. But this video, I want to concentrate on something different. Now, we have what we call the first group verbs in French, it ends in ER. We have the second group verb, it ends in IR. We have the third group verb, they can either be IR or RE or IR, just so on and so forth. Let's go forward. Now, aside from the different groups of verbs, which we are going to look into in other videos, I want to bring to you what we call the auxiliary verbs. This is it, the auxiliary verbs. Why do we call them auxiliary verbs? Without these two verbs, you can do nothing in the French language. So stay put and let's learn them now. We have the first one as avoir. It means to have. To have. We have the second one as être. This is the second one. Être, it means to be. We call them the verbes in English. Now, these verbs are regarded as auxiliary because of their role in the conjugation of other verbs in French in their different modes and time. There is actually nothing you can do with other verbs after once you leave the present indicative mode. I'm going to tell you more about that very soon. Without the presence of these two verbs, so they are very important. They help other verbs to make sense. Let me put it that way. Without these verbs, other ones will not make sense to you. Now, this knowledge of both verbs is very important if you must go ahead in your study in French, so you don't want to miss it. Let's go ahead. Now, conjugating the verb être, to be. Let's begin with that one because we're humans, we're something. So, let's see the verb to be, être, to be. We have the very first thing, the verb that's the most, we have je suis, we have tu es, you have il est, we have elle est, you have nous sommes, we have vous êtes, we have ils sont, we have elles sont. Now pay attention now, this is the tricky part. Now you see this je, this tu, this il, this elle, this nous, this vous, this il, this elle. We call them pronoun personnel, personal pronouns. These are the things you must put first. They are what determine how the verb is going to be conjugated. Now, what we are dealing with now, we call it the present indicative mode. You use that to daily activities. I'm doing this. The present continuous tense, like it's like the present tense in English or the continuous present tense in English. So take note of it. Now, for this one, this is how it is conjugated. There's no formula for it, so you just have to learn how to conjugate the verb as it is. This is an auxiliary verb, and that is that it is conjugated. The next one thing I want you to take note of is how to use this particular verb in a sentence. Now, être in sentences. Let's see what we have here. We have je suis heureux. You see the je there, and there is suis. Heureux. I'm happy. I am happy. The next one you see there is tu es étudiant. You are a student. This is the verb there. Tu es. This is the personal pronoun. Étudiant is a noun. So the next one you have is il est grand. Il est grand. You see this est here. This is il here. Il est grand. So you see, it's an irregular verb. So these are the usage of sentences. We have elle est gentil. Now you will take note, this il and elle are conjugated the same way. even in the main verb when we did just the verb conjugation and in sentences. Well, what's the difference? This one is used for male, this one is used for female. So this is masculine, whereas this is feminine. That's the difference between the two of them. So don't confuse them. One means he, the other one means she. So they are conjugated the same way. Third person singular. We have nous sommes. We are French. Nous sommes amis. Then you have vous êtes en retard. Now take note again. You have you here, tu. You have you here, vous. Now this you can be used for your friends, for impact, for an unofficial situation. But this vous is used to address those in authority, elders. Is for also for a group of people. You. If I say vous êtes en retard, meaning I'm addressing a class, for example. I mean the whole class is late. But if I say vous, let me say my mother or somebody that is elderly to me, or somebody that is in authority, my head of department as a lecturer, for example, you are going to find that I'm going to use vous for that one person. So you're addressing your boss in the place of work, you also use vous. So that is how it is used. You have ils sont sportifs, they are athletic, ils sont sportifs. You also have the next one there is elles sont intelligents. Now you see, this is elle, this is il. The both of them means they, but they are used for masculine. This is feminine. So when you have only males, you use il. When you have male and female combined, you also use il. When you have only female in the group, you use elle. That is the rule in French. Mon chat est mignon. La fleur est belle. So these are other examples. If I say mon chat, I'm saying il. If I say la fleur, I'm saying elle as well. So take note of that. Let's go to the next thing in this video so that we can, I don't want the video to be too long. I want you to just grasp everything. We have conjugated the verb avoir. So you already know the basics about the personal pronoun. I will just bring a list of the avoir. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils sont, elles ont. It's on, elles ont. Now look at another thing you must take note of here. You see this je, when you did it, you had an e here, but the e is removed because there is an vowel here. A. Now we put what we call apostrophe. I have a video for that. You can go to the channel, look for les signes d'orthographe. No, you can look for les signes d'orthographe, orthograph signs in French. You understand more about that. Now look at this other one. The rule does not apply here. You have tu, a vowel here. You have a vowel here, but for this one is allowed to stay. But for the other one is not allowed. Yes, you have to use that apostrophe to show that there's a vowel coming before, and that other vowel has to go. So you already understand the personal pronoun. This is how it is conjugated. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, elles ont, elles ont. Look at it in sentences. You have it as j'ai un chat. So the same thing. You have the second one is tu as une belle voiture. You have il ou bien or elle a une grande maison. Now you are going to have nous avons des amis. You have vous avez une nouvelle école. You have ils ont deux vélos. You have elle a un livre intéressant. Then you have tu as un stylo bleu. Then you have nous avons une famille heureuse. And you have vous avez un chien adorable. So you can see the usage the same way. So the verb conjugation must align with the personal pronoun. So you must take note of that as well. So let's see, before I end this video, some things, exercises. I love giving exercises because it helps you actually to practice what you have learned so far. So I'll just run through them. What you're doing here is quel âge as-tu? Now, at quel âge as-tu? What go with you in avoir? I'm going to do the first one is ah. This will be the answer here. Now for the second one, you have tu dash étudiant. This is the verb être now. Tu es étudiant. This will be your answer. So the list is there. I'm bringing all of them out now. So please try and go through them. Try and answer. You can send me a message, drop a comment in the comment section. If you want, you can do the assignment and drop there as a comment. I'll be glad. I will mark it and send it back to you. Once again, subscribe to the channel. Share it among your friends. As a parent, you come across this, your child is doing French in school, please don't hesitate. Subscribe and let your child go through these lessons that are there. You are a student on campus doing GST in French, is for you. Everyone is there. You're a French student already, please subscribe. You have more to learn from this channel. Till the next video, have a wonderful time learning.